Let's try another problem. So start right here. I need to get t by itself. So I'm going to do arctan of both sides to get rid of that tangent. So I get t equals arctan of -2. So we are looking for an angle that gives us a tangent value of -2. So same thing, this is not a unit circle problem. Now remember, we're going to work in radians for the rest of this assignment. So in radian mode, I want you to put that into your calculator. If you put it into your calculator when you're in radian mode, you should get t equals -1.107 radians. So let's visualize where those radians are. Remember, this is 0 radians. It's negative, so I'm going to go clockwise. This is -pi/2 radians, or -1.57-ish, on and on and on, radians. This would be -pi or -3.14 radians. So if I have all of that visualized, it's a lot easier to visualize where -1.107 is. It's going to be about right there-ish. So there's my triangle. I'm going to add 2 pi k so that I get all my answers. And that's the answer my calculator gives me. However, we know that there's a second triangle. So what other quadrant is going to give me a negative tangent answer? Well, I know that quadrant 2 will also have a negative tangent answer. So I also have another triangle here, and the angle, the reference angle for this triangle is going to be 1.107. Notice I took the negative off because the negative is only there to show direction. The negative shows that I'm going this way, but this angle right here isn't going clockwise or counterclockwise. It's just showing a distance there, so I don't need the negative anymore. However, I do need to find my other angle. So my other angle is going to be that one. So once again, I can do pi, the whole thing, minus the angle I've got. And that should give me my blue angle. So that's 2.034. And of course, plus 2 pi k to get all. Now, one other thing you might notice for this problem, because it's a tangent problem, our two triangles are exactly pi apart. So instead of having both answers plus 2 pi k, I could instead do just the first answer I have, plus pi k. And that would get all my answers. So I got this one plus pi k, plus pi k, plus pi k. That'll keep getting all of your answers as well. So either of these answers are perfectly good and would work. Okay, last calculator problem. After everything we've done, this is one I want you to try. So first off, let's solve for x together by doing arcsecant. Actually, before we do that, let's do this. We don't really like secant. Let's change this into a cosine problem by flipping the fraction. It'll just be a lot easier for graphing and for typing in our calculator, because remember, your calculator doesn't have a secant or an arcsecant button. It has a cosine and an arccosine button. So I changed it to cosine first. Then I can do arccosine on both sides. To get that x is arccosine of -3/5. So start by typing that into your calculator. Make sure you're in radian mode. Add 2 pi k, that's your first set of answers. Then you need to graph where those radians are, the radian that you get from your calculator. Find the other triangle that will have the same cosine value and figure out the angle for that triangle. So try all of this on your own. Make sure you've really got this, and then come back to check your work. Let's check your work. So step 1, I typed this into my calculator in radian mode to get my first answer, and I added 2 pi k so I get all answers. Then I graphed this radians. So 2.214 radians would be between 1.57 and 3.14. So 2.214 is about right there. And that's that angle up to that triangle, 2.214. Now I need to find my other triangle. Now I'm dealing with cosines here, so I want the other triangle that will have the same cosine value or the same x value. So that's this triangle here. Notice they have the same x value. And the angle is symmetric, so the angle to this triangle would be negative 2.214, because now I'm going clockwise to get to this angle. So my other answer would be this angle, negative 2.214, plus 2 pi k. And that gives me both sets of triangles, aka all angles, that will give me this cosine value. So that is all we're going to do with a calculator for now. In the next video, we're going to go back to doing some unit circle problems.